Yo, what's guys, VENM here back on video, and today we're going to be hopping into another Madden 23 defensive video. Today we're going to be going over one of the best blitzes in the game that not too many people know about. This is going to be a very helpful video in my opinion for a lot of you guys. You guys looking for unique defenses especially. It's a pretty unknown defense, but it's very, very effective. It might be one of the best blitzes, if not the best blitz in the game. And you can get very adjusty with it behind. It's a very unique formation. You see we're in the dime rush. This is a formation that never really is used that often. And I'm going to show you a blitz that can make this the best defense in the game. Now, we're in the Chicago Bears defensive playbook today. It's also in the Browns, Colts, Cowboys, Eagles, and Texans. So it's not necessarily in the best, set of playbooks, but you can make some things work with it. And honestly, it's really good against the run as well. So what's different about the dime rush? It's going to be a 4 D lineman set. So you have your 4 D lineman right here, and then you're going to have 4 corners. So it's going to be 6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, and 4 defensive linemen. So it's a very unique range of personnel. Of course, your user is going to be this guy in the middle, Tremaine Edmonds. So you can get a good player here. You can put a safety in this spot. Otherwise, you have good enough DBs at the rest of the spots that you don't really need anything. Now, the play we're going to run is going to be DB blitz in the middle. Man coverage is just the easiest play to adjust out of right now, and it's the smartest thing to use, so we can use that. You can replicate the blitz out of any formation, really, though, or any play set. So if you want to use cover 3, you can easily set it up out of that. But we're just going to show DB blitz because I think it's the simplest. And on offense, we'll just run something like bunch. I might audible to some other formations as well, just to show it against that. But straight into it. Also, before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel down below for more Madden 23 content. You guys have been smashing the like button and that subscribe button. I definitely do appreciate all of the support since the game came out. And if you want more of these banger videos, just continue to smash that subscribe button, and it will show me that you guys are enjoying the content. Let me know what you want to see down below. Now, here we are, dime rush, basic defense, and it's going to be a really easy setup, honestly. There's not a whole lot that goes into it. Really, all you're going to do is just pinch your defense. Now, a lot of you guys might not know how to do that. You're going to press your RB button. It's going to be this back bumper of your controller, RB. It's going to be R1 if you're on PlayStation, and you're going to go down on the left stick. So you can either go down on the D-pad, down on the left stick, doesn't matter. And what pinching your defense does is it's going to pinch your D-line, pinch your linebackers, and then press your corners. So it's going to be that. Now, you notice something kind of odd happens when you pinch your defensive line in dime rush. It's something that doesn't really happen in some other formations. You notice that the D-line is going to kind of go over to that left side. So if you reset the defensive line, they are in their normal spots, and then you pinch, they actually kind of move to the left. You notice how that right end is moving in between the guard and the tackle. And then you notice that they're also crashed in an interesting way. They're already slanted to the right, which is just going to help you for your blitz. Now, for the blitz setup, you're going to be using Tremaine Edmonds. I keep confusing them, as I mentioned. You're not going to shoot over the top. Just stay pressed because your pressure is going to get through. And then with your user, all you have to do is just stand in this gap. You're going to go ahead, snap the ball, and it's going to be super, super fast pressure. It's definitely, in my opinion, the fastest blitz in the game. No other pressure can even get there as close. No loop, no edge pressure really gets there this fast that I've seen. Just having 2 slot corners, and these corners are not necessarily burners. I don't even know who these guys are. I think it's, who is it? Taron Johnson, I think, and then it's some other no-name Johnson who's like a 60-something overall. So Taron Johnson, I know, is not even exactly that fast. If that is him, I'm not sure. All these number changes, super annoying, but yeah, you see, here it is in real time. I mean, it's just difficult for a lot of these guys to get off the ball. Now, one thing that is going to be interesting is that you have both safeties and man coverage, so that's going to be something that you guys got to note and try and get some safeties that are good in coverage, if at all possible, because you notice how the safeties are going to be manned up both on the slot wide receiver and the tight end in this case. So again, since you're rushing 2 slot corners, it makes sense that that happens. But again, all you're doing is pinching the defense. Very, very simple. You can't really press these guys, so as long as you're pressing those outside receivers, you should be good. And then if you want, you can move someone like a Micah Hyde over. I mean, he's going to know you're in man coverage pretty easily anyway, so there's not really much of a bluff to this play, if we're being completely honest. So just kind of stand here in the gap, and then, of course, you don't have to stand here for 20 minutes. You can just hover, and then you can go and use her. So I'm able to go and defend the running back or the slot wide receiver, whoever I need, and the blitz is going to get through the exact same way as it did the first play. You notice very simple engagements. And since we're slanted to the right, you notice Gregory Rousseau is going to be number 50. For those of you who do not know, number 50 right there. Since we're slanted to the right, he's going to engage with the right tackle almost every single time. And that's going to allow your slot corner on the right to almost get through on a very consistent basis regardless. And again, even if he somehow blocks both slot corners, you're going to get a shed because it's Madden 23. So it's a really easy blitz. Let's block the running back now just to add something to it, show you something new. So we're going to block our running back. We're still going to hover, and you notice that you're still going to get pressure now. It will happen. There will be certain situations where your players get bumped, and that just depends formation to formation. In this case, the corner that came through was going to be that guy on the right side, and you noticed that unfortunately he did get bumped, and that's bound to happen. And of course, some of the blocking does change. The offensive linemen play different assignments. They block differently when the running back is in protection. That's just the way the game's coded. But then you see right there, we get the right tackle to lock, and we get 2 people free with a 6-man protection. So it varies play to play. There you see a good, accurate representation of what can happen online. And of course, he didn't get bumped this time, so it's really fast. I'm not sure. I think, take a look at Evan Neal. I believe Evan Neal is going to be 73. And we see Gregory Rousseau get almost a disengage there. He just doesn't even actually get engaged with. So he kind of ping-pongs off the right guard and the right tackle, and he gets free. And it actually happens in about the same time it would take if the slot corner gets bumped. In this case, the slot corner does not get bumped, and you notice him just getting free. So let's try a max protect. What happens if they max protect? Now, if you don't know what you can do to prevent a max protect, motion this guy over, and then you can pass block your tight end. So that is a way to do that if you did not know. Out of gun bunch, you can motion over a slot receiver, and then you can pass block your tight end, and then you can actually motion him back if you'd like. In this case, we're cool with not doing that. So we have a max protect offensively, and again, we're just going to stand here, hover, and you notice we end up getting a quick pressure. Again, now it's not going to come from the outsides. A lot of times when you are in max protect, they're going to stress the outside guys first and then kind of let these inside guys get through, which kind of unrealistic. But you notice how Gregory Rousseau is just going to loop around very easily. Now, it's not going to take the best angle. That is what it is. You still get really fast pressure, and you also notice Ed Oliver, I think, right there, is going to get a block shed in almost the same amount of time anyway, a little bit slower. So really good. He doesn't really have anywhere to go. He would have to step up and slide through the pocket on the left side. He can't really scramble on either side in this situation, especially with the rush that your corner's getting on his tight end. So, and again, none of these guys are open. If he's going to put 3 receivers on the field, it's going to be pretty easy to defend them. And as long as your man coverage guys are doing their job, get some good man coverage fast players. So let's just show some more scenarios. Let's go with if they block their tight end but still want to send their running back out on a route, just because there are different scenarios where these guys will block differently. In this case, they don't block the running back. It's going to be the slot corner on the left. If they do block the running back, it'll be the slot corner on the right. And you notice something consistently happening. It's going to be that loop with our defensive end, Rousseau, number 50. He's consistently getting that loop animation, and it's coming through almost every single time. So you love to see it. And as an offensive player, you hate to see that. Now let's go to some different formations, some different popular formations. Let's start out with the gun tight formation. This is a formation that I posted in a video today. I urge you guys to actually, or yesterday, rather. I urge you guys to go check that out. It's a very good offense. I would like to explore it a little bit more, and it's really good because you can't get pressed. So now if I were to just pinch my defense, you would notice that these guys would have a little bit of trouble with the alignment. I'm not sure if that's because they came out in bunch and then audibled. So, oh my, this dude is stuck. But we'll just move him a step over just to get some clearance. We don't want 2 guys stacked per se. So it's going to look like this. It's a pretty simple thing. And again, you're not even too far hovered over to the left where you can't use her if he puts Saquon Barkley on a wheel or a swing or something like that. We're going to block Saquon and run a base bench defense, and here you actually see really good coverage. Let's take a look at what happened. Maybe I didn't do something correct. That shouldn't have worked that well. Let's take a look. I didn't get a good hover animation, I don't think. So maybe that's on me. And Von Miller, I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, you see a couple of different things happening. The bump, and again, Saquon's blocked. Of course, let's show it with Saquon not blocked first. And I'm actually going to come out and tight and see how that affects our defense, because the audibling system does generally change it, and most players who are running tight will just straight up come out in the play. So let's call double. Let's go with just a standard bench and then DB blitz. And now you notice we have a little bit better. I guess these guys do kind of still stack onto each other. But we pinched, and now you notice a little bit of different alignment. Whereas before they would go over to the left side against a bunch, now they're actually kind of staying in the middle. And I did the same thing. I'll reset the defense. We pinch, and the defensive linemen are kind of, you see how Rosu's not as far to the side. So it's a little bit interesting to see right there. We're still going to hover, but this is going to give us a more concise hovering assignment, so I'm definitely not mad at it. It doesn't have to shift to the left. It is just something that happens depending formation to formation. But you notice this was with Saquon Barkley blocked, and now we get an easier engagement and opportunity because you see we just have D end on the left, D tackle on the left, D tackle on the right, and D end on the right. They're all just straight up lined up directly in front of each other. And this is just going to allow them just completely rush into each other. And then you have your two slot corners. You're occupying the center, and even if you weren't, the center really wouldn't be able to slide over. And oh my God, look at Von Miller bully Andrew Thomas right there. So of course, Saquon Barkley's going to do a good job in pass protection. He is a good pass blocking running back, but you have two corners, so one guy's going to get free. Again, the coverage, it's not perfect, but it's a pick over here. If they throw that over here, it's slightly open, but you see you don't even really have enough time to throw it. You would have to throw it now, and no one's throwing the ball right there. Corner routes, it's difficult. It's a tough read. You can throw them, but it is risky, and you would have to throw it again right here probably to get the ball off in time, like right about here. If you throw it here, you're getting hit. It could be picked off, and again, they're not really open here unless you're just trying to snap, throw, possession, catch, something like that. But I mean, it's really good coverage. And again, you can't really max protect out of this formation. I'm going to try. It is a little bit difficult, I guess, with two controllers. So we're going to try and motion over Tony to get him to block. And here you see we end up getting a loop, and it does stop it. So again, this blitz isn't perfect, but if you do catch them not blocking 7, you see how fast it is. I think that's really the beauty of it. I'm going to show some bluff blitz things next, but here we kind of hover, and I did a good job of hovering, so it wasn't that, but this is a really good way to block, and it's because you have a delayed guy here. The slot corner is never going to come through against this kind of a blocking scheme where you motion a guy over like this, and just the reason why is because Tony's so far back that there's no hope of the corner getting around him. And then again, of course, we know the same blocking scheme happens. All 4 guys engage with all 4 guys. We hold the center, and then Barkley's able to pick up the other guy. So this kind of a style blocking is going to be kind of a matchup nightmare for us. This would be the only thing that would be good against it. And again, most people will try some other stuff that is good out of tight that I showed. And another one's going to be to motion Kenny Galladay over and put him on a bass block. A lot of people either let him get set or motion snap it. It doesn't really matter too much. And there you see we get, and again, even if you don't get the pressure, you're still getting good push regardless whether you get the sack or not. So at the end of the day, you're still getting fast pressure, and we all know even if you block 7 and he rushes 6, it's still insanely difficult to get rid of the ball. Some of those guys get one-on-ones, they go crazy. But let's show some of the bluff blitz things that I would do. Now, if I were in a bluff blitz, what I would probably do is immediately what I'm going to do is switch up some of the matchups. We don't want our safeties manned up, so what we're going to do is man up the slot corners on the respective guys, just like so. So now everybody has a man, and what we have is 2 open safeties. So if I want, I can man up one of the safeties on the running back if I'd like, or we can throw RB in like a curl flat, and then we can throw L1 in like an inside third. Or we can throw 2 curl flats on the field. You can do something like this, especially if he's running tight and he's running this bench play. This is going to be good against that. And again, we bluff the blitz. Everything looks the same. Now, certain things still get open. You could adjust your zone drops however you want. We do get the interception there. And try to get sticky. But yeah, you could, of course, set your zone drops. You can do some different things as well if you'd like. You can go with some cross manning, but against bench, they're this tight. It's corner out based. So not as many reasons to do that. And I mean, yeah, you can also, if you want to just keep things simple for yourself, you can throw A in a curl flat and Y in a curl flat, or you can just put Y in a little vert hook. So you can do things like this. If you want, I mean, you really can just blitz one guy. Let's block 5 and show this blitz with 5. So we're going to hover, and you can get pressure easily that way, which is something that I did not show. Now, of course, I would use the running back. I was kind of asleep at the wheel watching the blitz happen. Just wanted to make sure it worked. But again, if you rush 5 against 5, it's going to work. You don't have to rush 6, and it's still really the same speed. And obviously, this isn't even the best formation for the 5-man blitz. Probably bunch or any other formation would be better because Von Miller and those guys are going to be more slid to the left. And you notice when they're more slid to the left, that's when you get that looping action that we haven't had out of this tight formation. So I'm glad you guys got to see it against a lot of formations. It's going to be pretty good run defense as well, which is something I did not mention. It's not easy to run the football against something like this. Now, it's not exactly the best thing, but you can kind of gap shoot through these things. Pulling guards would not be a high IQ move against dime normal, trust me. And yeah, you would probably have to audible down, go to like I form, or just run dive up the middle. It's not easy to run the ball against this form. So overall, it's going to do for the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.